Hey, let's make donuts. This turn out to be super soft, spongy, chocolatey, and very delicious. Let's get started. So we'll be starting by activating the yeast. So for that, in a bowl, take half cup of lukewarm water. Next, add into it 1 teaspoon of sugar. You can use powdered sugar or crystal, any form. After that, add into it 1 teaspoon of active dry yeast and give this all a good mix. Make sure you mix the components really very well. Now cover it and let it get set for 10 minutes until the yeast bloom and risen up. Now here you can see after 10 minutes the yeast has become frothy and yes, it's ready to use. If it don't do like this, then do not use further in the recipe, it's bad. Now take 1 cup of maida or refined flour, add into it the prepared yeast mixture and mix this flour and the yeast mixture together really very well. As it gets mixed together, add into it half cup of powdered sugar. Mix this all together. Now as it comes together, add into it little by little water. For the total recipe, it would require half cup of water and prepare a sticky dough. Knead the dough for 15 to 20 minutes until it comes together. Make sure you knead the dough here really very well and it should be sticky. Do not make it stiff. As you can see, this should be its consistency and you need to knead it, you need to stretch it and knead it until it becomes so fluffy. This will help for the donuts to rise it up, so don't skip this step anymore. Simultaneously add into it 2 teaspoons of butter and give this all a good mix. Make sure to mix the dough really very well. It would take around 15 to 20 minutes for the complete process, but after this your dough will become so fluffy, soft, which will later help the donuts to bloom and become soft, spongy. As the dough comes together like this, as you can see, it should not be stiff, not should be sticky, but should be soft. So you have to knead until it just loses its stickiness. Punch it a bit and gather it all together. Now take a bowl, grease it with some oil and place the dough that we had prepared. Make sure dough shouldn't be stiff, it should be soft. Now cover it and let it get set for 1 hour till the dough rises. After 1 hour, you can see that the dough has risen really very well and it has become so frothy and even risen in its shape. So this is what we actually want. Punch it, remove the excess air, mix it and now knead for another few seconds. Do not pressure knead, just knead it with light hands. Transfer it on a rolling platform and roll this into a thick sheet. Make sure sheet should be thick, not thin. So this should be its thickness. Now to cut the donuts, you can use a donut cutter or a big katori and a small katori. So yeah, I'm using a big katori and a small katori. Just take out the donut shape and the small katori was way too big for its center hole. So here I'm using knife to give it a center hole. So this is how we have to prepare the donut and now transfer it on a butter paper so that when we'll fry it, it will not, not lose its shapes, or when we'll pick it up after it bloom again, so it will not lose its shape. So for that it's really very nice to keep it on a butter paper, so make sure you keep it on a butter paper. Similarly, you can cut donuts and don't forget to place them all on the butter paper. So from this amount of measurements and by this recipe you'll be getting 6 such donuts. Now cover this all with a damp cloth and let it get set for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes you will see that the donuts have risen up and it is looking wow. It has risen than the original shape and it's ready to fry. For frying we require medium hot oil. In this medium hot oil, carefully remove the butter paper and place in donuts and fry it until they turn golden brown. Switch the flames in between and don't over fry it, otherwise they will burn and will not taste nice. So first you fry a donut. As you got the experience that how it turns out to be, then you can use 2 to 3 donuts at a time and fry them in. Make sure it should be golden brown, it shouldn't burn. So this is how our donuts have turned out to be. They are so soft and spongy and looks fluffy. Now here for their coating, I have took some chocolate syrup and sugar powder. So take a donut, either you dip it in the chocolate syrup or sugar powder, or this tastes like this also very nice. So here we are ready with a chocolatey, super delicious, tempting, very nice donuts. Do give it a try to this recipe and enjoy!